talk to us about, through the last 6 months, this COVID experience, your number one challenge and the number one silver lining. And so whatever that challenge is, have you overcome it? How did you overcome it? And then also, as I say, the silver lining in this whole equation.
So my biggest challenge was not, I'm a very relationship person, and I also come from the banking background, is being forced to meet the clients. So I meet every single client of mine. It doesn't matter what time, where they live. Most of them live in the GTA. So I meet every single client, and I also connect a lot with the real estate agents as well. Go for lunch, go for coffee, go for drinks. So that was the biggest challenge, growing the business by not meeting the people. And actually, that's also came out to be my positive thing as well. We started get on Zoom. So I live in Scarborough. My office is in Scarborough. I have real estate offices in Bowmanville, Oshawa, Whitby. I'll be driving at 7 o'clock in the night to meet a client. 2 hours, 3 hours is gone. But that was the biggest challenge, from not seeing client to do a face-to-face meeting on Zoom. Now, I haven't seen a client for the last 6 months. I went to see a client like last Tuesday. That was the first time I've seen a client since March. I think that become more efficient in terms of time. I can still be at home at 7 o'clock. I can still jump on a Zoom call and get them whatever they want. It's very lively. That's actually a silver lining thing for me. So I'm being more efficient and I'm being more productive. So that's what the pandemic had taught me. But during the pandemic, the other biggest challenge was there's a lot of negativity going on. I still wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'll be in the office at 7 o'clock. I'll be calling my realtors. I'll be calling my past clients, working through it. So that was the biggest challenge during the pandemic, how to stay positive. Anyone you pick up the phone, everyone's like, everything's going to go sideways. Everything's going south. Everything's coming to an end. Market's going to crash. If I have listened to them, if I haven't prospected, if I sit at home and sit at the couch and watch TV and play with my kids, 2020 will be the worst year, because you've been in mind of realtors and the clients and referral sources. You've been talking to them, social media. That was the best thing we ever did. Me and my business partner, we'll be the only one who will be coming at 7 o'clock in the office, probably go through not having lunch, going through 5 cups of coffees every day till dinner, then go home, play with the kids, and come back in the morning. You pick up the phone, oh my God, the market's going to crash. Everything's going to come down. Don't work. But we're over with it right now. But I think the biggest challenge was going from relationship, from a face-to-face meeting to Zoom calls. But that has taught me I can do this business from anywhere, and I just a lifestyle according to that as well.
So you've seen a lot more freedom, and you've largely unplugged your TV. And I'll put a cherry on top of that. I'll tell you what I discovered is the delete and block feature in Facebook, and I have now deleted and blocked probably close to 50 people. And all it takes is 3 or 4 kooky negative posts about the world coming to an end, and you're out. Because I don't need that in my orbit. None of us do, right? I mean, how is that serving any of us? So I think you hit a very important nail on the head right there. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mackenzie.
So we were just trying to be present and available when people were calling about deferrals and so on, as well as we kind of upped our blog posts in regards to what kind of programs are available for deferrals. Even the government programs, we were posting a lot of links. And then we tried to increase the positivity by doing some fun Facebook contests and stuff like that, which are not remotely mortgage related, but just kind of add a little bit of distraction and fun into the general community. So
you're using Facebook to make positive and fun posts? Really?
Yeah.
Novel concept.
So we've had lots of people reach out and say that they really enjoyed the post this summer and it was a good distraction. The silver lining for us is that it kind of forced us to be able to develop some systems so that people could work from home, even though the majority of people are working back in our office space. So that, it just forced us to take a little bit of extra time and effort to put some additional systems in place so that should second wave hit, we are prepared and we will still be just as available and there'll be fewer bumps, hopefully.
Fantastic. Be prepared, be positive, be fun.
Yeah.
Perfect. Joanna, how about yourself? Biggest challenge shiniest silver lining?
Biggest challenge, I think, is keeping the team spirit alive when we all going through the same thing, but alone and not exactly the same. Everybody's at home. We have lots of people with 3 kids, must be something in the water in our office. So that's been difficult. And also new hire training, the way we're geared up to teach by osmosis, and that's been very difficult as well with everybody working remotely. When it comes to silver lining, I find that I'm actually able to be in touch with more people than before, especially for our in-house presentations for real estate offices. More people attend online than they did in person. We've had, and I find that in this time, it's very easy to pick up the phone and talk to people because there's so much uncertainty in the world, and hopefully whatever silver lining is there for us, that people flock to quality, and we've really worked hard to be the steady Eddie and organized and focused on our knowledge. That's really worked well for us when we're getting referral sources coming to us now versus the other way around, because they're worried.
Well, and you make a really excellent point that is actually goes back into that what should rookies be doing category. There's a lot of old school brokers that were really lingering for month after month after month, not wanting to adapt, not wanting to change, hoping things would suddenly go back to the way they were. And they stopped doing, because they couldn't show up to do the Monday morning meeting with the real estate office or every second week or whatever it was. And so they just sort of pressed pause on it, which created an opportunity for any up and comer that wanted to call real estate offices and say, hey, there's a lot going on with, like we said, or Mackenzie touched on, the deferral topic in March and April and even into May. That was a very, very hot topic. Lots of misunderstandings around it. And for realtors, there's always things evolving and changing in our space. So pretty awesome opportunity to, as I say, as an up and comer, to get out there and put Zoom meetings together and swipe that real estate office out from that long established pro that hasn't adapted to Zoom. But all of you have adapted, so no one's swiping anything from you guys. Alan, I think you're going to roll us out with the last word here.
Well, I was going to give a very quick answer, which is I don't think my business has fundamentally changed. I really do miss our office, our working environment, seeing everyone, on a daily basis. Like, we have a really cool vibe and culture. But I would just take a step back and say, like, you know what? We're in Canada. We're healthy. We have Wi-Fi. There's tons of business out there. Like, anything that we're talking about is first world problems times a million. There's really a lot of people that are not doing well, and like just take a step back and think about that every day.
Yeah, absolutely. And to bring it right back to business, I will say, on a global stage, there's no question that all those people that were looking towards immigrating to Canada more than ever are looking at immigrating to Canada. And there is going to be, once those borders open back up, when the time comes, the wave that we're going to see is going to be unprecedented. We are going to have record-setting immigration years, I predict, probably for 3 or 4 years solid. It'll just be an unbelievable tsunami, and they all have to live somewhere, right? All those new Canadians are going to be looking to live somewhere, and we've already established ad nauseum at this point, we have a supply problem. So prices, they're not going anywhere. The aforementioned CMHC study, that was done back in March, late March, early April, and that was predicated on employment numbers at that time. And employment numbers were falling off the cliff. But employment numbers did the opposite of what everybody expected and have bounced back. And that's why we're seeing such a huge bounce back. So yeah, I think to wrap it up on that note, I would thank all of you so much for taking the time to do this with us today. I've really enjoyed the conversation, and you know, we are so lucky to be working 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, aren't we? I mean, we are very blessed to be as busy as we are, and it doesn't show any sign of letting up anytime soon, that's for sure. And that's actually kind of bittersweet news, I think. You know, Alan, Joanna, Mackenzie, Varen, thank you so much for making this happen. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate the opportunity, and thank you for tuned in.